Hello and welcome to the day ahead. It is Thursday, February 26th. I'm Andrew Gagan. The local market is set to open marginally higher following yesterday's intraday record high. Global shares ended higher overnight on easing concerns over tariffs and the impact of AI on business models. Wall Street's major indices advancing to two-week highs, led by a rally in tech stocks ahead of Nvidia's earnings report after the bell. The chipmaker forecasts first quarter revenue above market estimates, betting on big tech spending on AI. The world's most valuable company expecting fiscal first quarter sales of $78 billion, with January quarter sales of $68.1 billion. Shares are up more than 2% in extended trade. Lowe's forecast full-year sales and profit below Wall Street estimates amid a stagnant US housing market and moderate consumer spending. Axon Enterprise shares surged after the taser maker beat fourth quarter profit estimates. Among the staples, alcohol producers Brown-Forman and Molson Coors fell after UK-listed Diageo forecast a 2 to 3% organic sales decline this year and cut its interim dividend in half. And shares in GoDaddy tumbled after the internet service provider forecast annual revenue below expectations. US-listed shares of copper miners, including BHP and Rio, rose, tracking the price of the red metal higher on growth and demand optimism. And US-listed shares of lithium miners rose, while after Zimbabwe suspended exports of all raw materials and lithium concentrates with immediate effect after the government alleged malpractices. Well, Reserve Bank Governor Michelle Bullock has said judging the Australian economy is more difficult now than in previous periods of tightening. Speaking last night, she said, now we're in a situation where the labour market, we think, is a little bit tight. Inflation is a bit elevated. I don't think it's taking off again. We thought the economy was in balance. Maybe it's a little tighter than we thought. It's not like we've got a situation where it's very clear what we have to do. People have to be patient. Well, her comments come in the wake of January's inflation data, which showed consumer prices rose 3.8% over the year. The US tariff rate for some countries will rise to 15% or higher, according to US Trade Representative Jamison Greer, who said right now we have the 10% tariff. It'll go up to 15% for some, and then it may go higher for others. And I think it'll be in line with the types of tariffs we've been seeing. US Treasury slid for a second straight session as risk appetite improved and investors prepared for a deluge of government and corporate issuance. The US two-year Treasury yield was at 3.47%, the 10-year at 4.04%. Australian three-year government bond yields fell to 4.27%, the 10-year down to 4.72%. Markets pricing in a 15% chance the cash rate will be hiked at the next meeting in March, with around 1.5 more hikes by the end of the year. US dollar index down on the day. The Aussie is trading at 71.3 US cents. Oil prices slipped as a much larger than expected US crude stock build outweighed the threat of oil supply from potential military conflict between the US and Iran. Brent futures at $70.50 a barrel. Gold has gained on safe haven positioning over concerns that tariffs could stoke inflation. Spot gold up around 0.5%. To be trading close to $5,190 an ounce. Copper rose 1%, iron ore about 2% higher at 101 US a tonne, and Bitcoin has surged, currently up more than 7% to around 69,000 US dollars. Well, ahead locally today, private capital expenditure for the fourth quarter is due to be released, and among the companies reporting results in New Zealand, Atlas Arteria, Cleanaway, IDP, Karoon, Macquarie Technology, Perpetual, Qantas, Ramsay Health Care, Super Retail and Worley. That is your day ahead. We'll see you again tomorrow.